So hello and welcome back to the channel. And before I start on this video, I just want to say thank you so much for the support in the last video. It was really cool to see. And hopefully, who knows, maybe this video will do as well. But we need to talk about Jose Mourinho and Roma. And I'll say what the room is thinking. Roma got robbed. I mean, they dubbed it the specialist versus the special one. Obviously, Jose Mourinho had won every European Cup final that he was in. Conference, Europa, Champions League. And Sevilla had won every Europa League final they've ever participated in as well. Something had to give. And a huge congrats to Sevilla as well. I mean, they won their first Europa League in 2006 where Jesus Navas was playing against Middlesbrough, and they've just beaten Roma in 2023 with Jesus Navas still playing for his boyhood club. Yes, there was a spell in and out there, but that's amazing, and they are just the specialists in this competition. But Roma should have had a penalty in the 80th minute. I'm sorry if you disagree, but they just should have. And I'll get to that in a bit. And as we know for the game, Spinazzola had a good chance early on, shot it straight down at Bunu. Tammy Abraham had an early penalty shootout as well. I don't think that was a penalty. I think the Sevilla player just missed his head. Although if it connects, who knows? You never know there. But he didn't either, and no penalty for me. Then Roma take the early lead. Mancini pounces on the ball and plays a beautiful pass to Dybala, with the Sevilla defence and the whole team are just sleeping, and he's got a one-on-one with Bunu, and there's no chance he was ever going to miss it. Plays it calmly in the bottom right corner. 1-0 Roma. Then just before half-time, Rakitic gets the ball outside the box on his weaker left foot as a thunderous strike, and he hits the right post as well. It was very unlucky, and he is some player. He's like Luka Modric in the way that he's aged like a fine wine, but I feel like he does not get talked about near enough. And then they start the second half, 10 minutes into it. Navas plays in a beautiful cross, and it's right in the corridor of uncertainty, a place where defenders hate getting the ball. And Mancini, he's just unlucky. It could have happened to anyone else, and the ball could have gone anywhere. 1-1. And there were a few more chances here or there. Tammy Abraham came close with Ibanez then slicing his shot wide from that rebound. Ocampos obviously went down after the Taylor calls from the penalty, but it correctly gets overturned. There's not enough for him to be going down like that. But then we get to the Roma penalty call. Now look, the ball gets played in via a cross, and Fernando, he can count himself so unlucky. It hits him in the arm. But the problem with it is his arm is, I wouldn't say it's in a natural position. It's outstretched from the body ever so slightly, and it hits him on the arm. It stops the ball going in, and it's not like he had his body behind it or anything. He stopped the ball coming in off his arm, and the arm's out from the body. To me, that's a penalty. Who knows as well if the penalty's given, if Roma would even have scored it. We obviously saw what happened to them in the penalty shootout. But the fact that it wasn't given, it's a joke really. And Jose Mourinho's got every right to be annoyed and angry at the officials for not giving it. Now, if you missed extra time, you're very lucky. Chris Smalling hit the bar from a header in the 120-something minute. It was all very blasé. A lot of people going down, a lot of cramps, injuries, but it was so painful to watch. Then it went to the part that Roma were dreading. They had no Dybala, no Tammy Abraham, no Spinazzola, no Pellegrini, no Matic. I mean, a lot of their penalty takers weren't even on the pitch. They'd only won one of their previous 4 European penalty shootouts before that, and Sevilla are fantastic at them as well. For the penalty shootout, Ocampos scores his, Cristante scores his, Lamela scores the next one, Mancini just smacks it down the middle. It was reminiscent of Lyndon Dykes' penalty against Israel. It was woeful. Then we have Rakitic, the experience on that man as well, dispatches his penalty. Then Ibanez, unlucky on his penalty. And then we've got Montiel, misses, but gets to retake it, all because Patricio was slightly off his line. Retakes it, then dispatches it. There we go, 4-1, full time. Sevilla, your new Europa League champions. And there was two things that really annoyed me about this. First thing for Roma, why are you letting two of your centre-backs go in the second and third spot? You have Belotti, a striker. He's got a good penalty record as well. Yes, I know he missed against England in the Euro final, so maybe you don't trust him there, but why are you not going up and taking it before them? Show them how it's done. Get on the board, get there nice and early. Put the pressure on Sevilla. But the second thing as well, oh, why on earth does the team who finishes third in the Champions League group stages get rewarded with Europa League football? They should just be out. It's the same if you finish third in the Europa League going into the conference. It's ridiculous. Why are you getting rewarded for failing in another competition? So again, congrats to Sevilla. But on to Jose Mourinho now. I mean, you've got to admit, the job he's done at Roma on the shoestring budget that they have, it's unbelievable. When Jose Mourinho won the Europa Conference League with Roma last year, he was actually the first manager to win European silverware with an Italian side since Jose Mourinho did it in 2010 with Inter Milan. Do you know how mental that is? Now, as well as that, he then waited for Anthony Taylor in the car park as well. And he said he seemed Spanish. And that's all because Anthony Taylor gave out 14 yellow cards, the most in Europa League final history. And he started calling him a disgrace in 3 different languages in the car park. He's spot on, to be fair. And yes, UEFA are going to have a look at his foul mouth rant, but let managers just show their personality. If he thinks Anthony Taylor's a disgrace, that's his opinion on the matter. He's not attacking the man's family or anything like that. Let managers be passionate in the moment. It makes everything so much better. Why should he get punished for feeling that his team had a wrongdoing when they did? So what's next for Jose Mourinho and Roma? Well, they've still got 1 game left in the Serie A. They're at home to Spezia, and if they win the game, they could potentially even get Europa League football, but more likely they'll probably end up staying 6th, getting Conference League football yet again. Now, as for Jose Mourinho, he said that his team lost the game, but they didn't lose their dignity, and that he wants to fight more for Roma. He's also been linked with the PSG job, however, and with PSG's recent results in European football and the way they've sort of been playing in general, they're going to be losing Lionel Messi, they could potentially be losing Neymar. They've got a big rebuild this summer coming up, and he could be tempted to go over there. But at the same time, I think he really loves Roma, and I think he's really ambitious with Roma. I think he wants to win the league with Roma and a few more different honours. And let's not get it twisted either. He's the most beloved person Roma have had since Francesco Totti retired. And that's not even up for debate. There's no one else you can even think of. Now, if he does leave Roma to go to PSG, he will leave there as a god in Rome, with his head held high, giving the team silverware, European silverware, which they've not had since 1962. And I think he'd be quite interested in the role at PSG. As much as he's enjoying the Roma project, and you can clearly see how much he loves the city, the fans, the team itself, if he takes the PSG job, it will elevate his name back into the elites with the Pep Guardiolas and Carlo Ancelottis of the world, which, at the end of the day, is exactly what he wants. So, I think at the weekend, at the Stadio Olimpico, in front of all the Rome fans, it will be his farewell. And I can only hope that he bows out in a win as well. I think that the PSG job is too tempting for him. They like to work with Kylian Mbappe as well. I mean, they would also have an endless budget, which, yes, they don't have at Roma as well. And if he could be the one to win the Champions League with Kylian Mbappe, it increases his legacy even more than it already is. And he'll just be remembered as a serial winner everywhere he went. Other than Tottenham, where he doesn't have a good connection with the fans, apparently. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think it was a penalty? Do you think I'm chatting on that one? Do you think Jose will stay? Do you think he'll go? If he does go, where? As well as that, please leave a like, give a subscribe, and share the video around. It would be really greatly appreciated. Thank you so much for watching, and cheers.